Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Mountain with Shoei Helmets. You may have noticed that I'm not, in fact, Mr. Glenn Irwin. He's called off sick today. He's missed the opportunity to come to Port Jacks Chippy in the corner of the harbour here in Douglas. If you've been to the Isle of Man and you haven't been to this chip shop, you haven't ticked all of the boxes that you need to tick when you come to this beautiful part of the UK. I'm in for a little bit of a treat today. I've got Davey Todd. It's the off day. It's the day before the Superstock race and 2 days before the senior. I'm going to join him inside the chippy. I think he's going to get a little bit of a lesson, maybe serve some fans, some cod and chips, and then we'll catch up for a few questions.
How you doing?
Charlie, welcome to Port Jacks Chippy and Diner. How you doing?
All good, mate. Yeah, all good.
Good. You ready for this?
Absolutely, I think so.
A bit of heat for you, but a little bit different from being on the bike in the wind.
Yeah, definitely, just a bit different.
Right, let's get this on you, mate. Let's get this on. There you go.
Let me kit it up.
Get it up. I tried to get this to put my mic at somebody rather than you, so there you go, mate. Come round with us.
It's all good.
Here we go. Probably the coolest guy I've had round the counter so far. So
I don't know about that.
This is the team here at Port Jack.
How you doing, guys? You all right?
Just to get a bit more action for you. So here we go. Yeah, we're just waiting for some customers now, really.
Sorry.
Hogging all the chip tray, like. Come on me in. Try not to be stingy. It's a bit hard. It's a bit hard.
Yeah.
You made it look easier than it is.
There we go. And then straight onto here. And then we just ask him if he's after some salt and vinegar on there. If Davey's doing it, yeah.
I'll leave that in there. Salt and vinegar.
Salt and vinegar on the counter.
I'm going to overdo this because I always put loads on. Oh, that's good. Is that right?
Yeah. Like a pro.
Sorry.
Go. I'd hammer it. I'd put way more on than that.
You're
But
Take this.
do that.
Yeah. Trick is to roll it. You roll it and then tuck it under like that. Okay. So you can do your next one.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure. That. What's the pay like in here? What? We didn't discuss this. Should have probably talked about it before I started.
We don't talk about that. Salt vinegar, please.
Oh, nice. I was just thinking about your health, that's all.
That's too late for that.
Go. Is that alright?
That's fine, thank you.
Let's take to the chips.
And then
Yay.
easy.
Thank you very much. Davey, that's fine.
Davey, I'm going to just fire a couple of questions
Yes,
at you, mate.
please.
Absolutely.
So last year we did coffees at Connor's, and this year you've got a day off and you're doing chips at Port Jacks. I don't know if you know, but this place is an absolute institution for TT fans. Have you been? Are you much of a chippy boy, or?
To be honest, I don't get much a chance. It's pretty tough with a racing diet that you're on. But I'm from the coast. Where I'm from back home is always a really famous place, like Whitby. Well, close to Whitby for fish and chips. So I'm partial to fish and chips, but I got to get gluten-free batter these days. So that's not easy.
Gluten-free batter? That I don't think I've ever
You do
even heard
gluten-free
of gluten-free batter.
We don't, so yeah.
Savage.
very much.
Just chips it is then.
Well, I think you've got more customers, so I'll maybe fire a few more questions at you while you're plying your trades. Slide on in.
All right. Another one.
Just one chip.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, open her up. And away you go.
So talk to me about the build-up for TT this year, Davey. White hot at the Northwest, I think, carrying a load of form. How did you feel coming into practice week?
To be honest, I was really excited, especially after the Northwest that we'd had. Had a great time at the Northwest. Obviously, good results and what have you. But
Salt and vinegar.
salt and vinegar.
Oh, can I start this?
I can't do two things.
No,
I
it's fine.
can't talk and,
It's fine.
it's an
We're
important
men.
job, you know.
We are men among men, Davey. I wouldn't worry about
Is that right?
No pressure.
No pressure.
Holding up the line here as well.
Fold them underneath.
Hey.
Oh, it doesn't look as neat as yours.
You could say the champ's African. Thanks very much, guys.
There you go.
Cheers, thank you.
So now I was excited coming into the TT, but just had a few things in practice week that have held up the job a little bit. A few little issues, but
you know I'm useless with numbers, but I think you finished last year with a 132.187 and finished practice week this year with a 132.194. So just nicked away and you know, quicker in practice week than you finished in race week last year. Still progress, right?
No, 100%. And that was with the issues that we had. I knew this year definitely we had a perfect practice week last year, and this year was far from it. We had a lot of issues. Never really got a proper lap on the super bike. That was on the stocker really. The lap time I did. So knowing that we went into race week knowing I could go a lot quicker than I did there, and hopefully not having the same race week that I had at the TT last year.
Well, yeah. I mean, and again,
in one sense,
that's the kind of the pleasure and the pain of the TT, isn't it? You never quite know. And from where I've been sat watching practice week on TT Plus, which we'll come to in a minute, that it just looks like the course is running so fast. The weather's been so good, and everybody's hit that kind of perfect form for race week this week. But there's been added pressure for you in the fact that Connor's out as well, or has been out until today. Does that add pressure for you from Clive and the team or not?
Not necessarily. There's no added pressure. It's obviously a massive shame. I'm gutted for Connor as a teammate, but also as a friend.
Yeah.
I'm gutted for him to have this illness at the time that every rider doesn't want. You'd take it any other weekend of the year, but these 2 weeks.
And he's a tough boy as well, isn't he? So you know if it's keeping him away from here, it must be serious.
100%. He's been through stuff that most people haven't. So. Yeah, for him to not be riding, it takes a hell of a lot.
Well, let's change the subject a little bit and talk about that C90 that's outside, and you rolling around Douglas in a Belstaff coat on a custom C90. It's not typically how I would imagine to see, you know, a top 5 TT rider spending the off day here.
Yeah, it's something a bit different, but I know some guys like to get jazzed up with a Ferrari from the sponsor or whatever, but I love the C90. Just cruising around.
Does.
The weather's been awesome.
Yeah.
We've had 2 weeks of sunshine. Like, it just doesn't get any better for the fans, for the riders, for everyone. Maybe the team, I guess it gives them a whole lot of extra work, to be honest. But it's just been brilliant, and I try and soak in every second I can while I'm at the TT, because I enjoy every second. And genuinely, if it surprises me, because a few guys are always like a bit glad to get home after the 2 weeks here. It's long, it's tiring, it's the most difficult 2 weeks of the year, and people are glad to get home. I'm like, I'm the opposite. I never want to go home after I've done 2 weeks here. I don't want to leave. I want it to go on another week, and
yeah. I don't know if you've got more customers to serve here. I'll keep asking questions. But obviously,
The wait for Scampy, it's so good.
But you getting home means getting back to your day job, which is
above my pay grade at the moment.
What, Scampy?
Yeah. I just know how to do the chips for now. Not quite leveled up to the sausages and the scampi.
Yeah, we were just talking there about, you know, going home and getting back to day jobs, which for you this year is a step up into BSB after winning the Superstock Championship last year. How's that going?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough. Honestly,
but obviously year one in the class, and are you maybe expecting too much of yourself? Do you think, or not?
I don't think so. It's tough. Obviously, it's a tough class, and the riders are some of the best riders in the world. A lot of champions in the class, and they all know what they're doing. But the same breath, I'm not there to make up the numbers and go, oh well, they're good, so I'm happy to get beat by them. You still want to be the best guy, and we had a strong season, obviously, in Superstock last year. But it's been as much a challenge for the team as it is for me. The Port Jacks guys are so knowledgeable and been in the game a lot of years, but in the same breath have not been in Superbike for a lot of years, and now with all the Motec electronics that you have to use these days, it's very complicated for a team that very old-fashioned isn't the word, like traditional, and I've always loved the way that the team go about things in that sense, but with no electronics and no data and no nothing. But jumping in a superbike this year, I think you need that stuff, and it's challenging for everyone.
Yeah. And you think, you know, if you think about Paget's history at the TT in particular, it goes all the way back to this, you know, the 70s. And then yours, if I remember, I think you didn't come to the Isle of Man until 2017 as a fan. It's almost completely at odds with Clive and all of that Paget's kind of legacy at the TT, and yours still a relative newcomer in the sense that, you know, it was only really 5 or 6 years ago before you started coming here as a fan. Are you teaching them anything, or are they teaching you everything?
We're learning together, to be honest, all the time, because the times around here, sure, they've won a lot of races around here, a lot. Probably more than most teams, maybe more than any team.
That'd be a good stat to find out, wouldn't it? Yeah, I should know that. I should know that.
But still, we're learning. We're moving forward all the time. Like, I think faster than any Paget's rider has ever gone on a Paget's bike. We're the 5th fastest-ish or something of all time. I'm not sure exactly, but we're right in the mix of all-time fastest. The 4th fastest ever 600 rider as of the other day. So
that was some 600 racer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think you might have a job on there.
Yeah, you've just had a little pay rise.
Yeah, you're up.
We're going to go to the next level, and so basically all you have to do here again, just grab one of these trays again, and then clean grease proof, and just try and grab them with the grease proof tray up. Go for it. They are a little bit.
Grab them.
I reckon you'll be able to handle it. Yeah. Try and grab the grease proof with your hand. Just try and sort of like that. Ish.
It'd be easy using a scoop, wouldn't it?
Maybe, if you want. If you feel better with using a scoop, go for it.
Ah,
they are hot, mate. Yeah.
You're hard as nails.
We'd only get
what, and like just keep picking them up?
Yeah. Just keep
oh yeah, that's all right.
I think it's that first initial one. It's like, oh.
I just touch the tray at the bottom, and that's a bit hot.
That's the one. And then just ask them if they want some bit of salt and vinegar on it.
Salt and vinegar?
Tartar sauce, guys. Yeah.
Well, look, I'm going to get out of the way. I can see the queue building up outside. I can't not come to a chip shop with Davey Todd and not order Todd and chips, which is probably the cringiest thing I've ever said. So I'm going to grab some chips, and maybe we could go and sit on the bench over there and wrap this up.
Great stuff.
Cheers, pal.
I'm sharing your chips.
Okay, well, there's a couple of forks.
I need two.
Mate, it's getting a bit romantic for me, isn't it? But look at that is not happening. Look at where we're sat though. Race week, TT is absolutely glorious weather.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
I kind of get the feeling, and sometimes when I'm interviewing racers, you need to be careful about which questions you do and don't want to ask. I kind of get the feeling that you're not happy with your performance, and is that adding pressure to how you want to deliver on senior day or not? I see, I can still feel it now, see?
Yeah.
You know, last year when we were chatting, it was
a little bit.
It was easy going, Davey, and it feels like there's unfinished business in your head at the minute.
Yeah, I'm just been a little bit frustrated.
Yeah.
A little bit frustrated. I feel good, and I want to be up there. It's natural as
You're a racer.
As a racer that you want to win. You want to be on the podium and battling with the guys. And at the moment, just I'm obviously not wanting to take that risk to unnecessary risk that ride above myself and do anything stupid, but I don't know.
But you still want to be on the box at the same time.
I want to be on the box. And
but we've both heard John McGuinness say 1,000 times, there's always another year. If it's not your day, there's always another year.
Definitely.
You know? And if you look at, he's 51, and I'm going to try and say it on a camera, he's the fastest quintagenarian on the planet, apparently, when it comes to road racing. So he's speaking from experience. There are other days and there are other races, but I guess that battle that you've got with yourself at the minute is the desire to deliver like you did at the Northwest, and I think maybe like everybody's expecting you to deliver at the minute, which must be a difficult position to find yourself in.
There's a lot of expectation, don't get me wrong, of course, and there's pressure, but...
These are good chips.
You're welcome.
You are welcome.
There's a lot of pressure, but there's no pressure more than that I put on myself. it's the want to do well from me, like not to provide for anyone else. It's literally, I want to win so much, more than anything. I don't want anything else. I never wanted anything else. I just want to win and do as well as I can.
Yeah.
And
let's change the subject. Let's talk about TT Plus. You know, if you think about work that you and I have done last year here, we generated a load of content, feature material for the TT Plus platform. Do you think there's been an immediate change? Are you being recognised more out and about, away from BSB and away from road racing because of that platform?
Definitely.
Because your Instagram followers have skyrocketed, haven't they?
Yeah, 100%. On social media and in person, I can't believe it now. I'm just walking around, not on the Isle of Man, in my hometown, and people recognise you. You don't know, and it feels weird because when I'm in Asda in the supermarket doing my shopping, and somebody says your name, you're like, what have I done?
Who you are.
Like, what? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
It doesn't click in your mind that they recognise you from racing or whatever. I don't know. It's just obviously something new that I've not got used to yet. But certainly, the TT's blowing up. I feel it's getting a whole new fan base that it never had before. That I always wanted it to have. Like all your die-hard TT fans who've been fans for 50 years, their whole life, but
they still get what they come for. But there's something new for new fans now, isn't there?
But now there's all of a sudden all these. There's fans my age. There's people my age, which I never felt like I saw a few years ago. And now there's people my age, younger people who want to come and enjoy racing, that are enjoying it. A bit of a festival party atmosphere, but also enjoying the racing as well. And a whole new, I don't know the word.
A whole dynamic for the TT, isn't it?
Dynamic, whole new age range and everything to go with it, which is really great and great for the sport. And I just see it getting bigger and bigger all the time, and it's mad the people that are recognising you that you would have never thought they would have even knew what the TT is, never mind who I am.
Yeah. Well, one last question then, while I carry on eating the chips that you've so kindly served up for me.
Stop eating them all.
Save
some for me.
No, you're a racer, mate. I'm doing you a favour. So, give Davey Todd and TT fans a tip on where the best place to go to see the best version of Davey Todd giving it big licks at the TT is.
There's certainly a few spots. There's a few spots for me.
There must be one though where you're like, I look so good. I'm nailing that bit.
Hilbury.
Little crossed up wheelie or some Hilbury.
Hilbury, simply because I like riding them white lines, not out of using all the track and pushing really hard, which everybody sees it as, just like scaring people. It's funny, like in a good way, to make people go wow. And just on the entry to Hilbury, I always like ask the guys. I went down with McGuinness to watch there the other night, watch the Super Twin race, and nobody was that close. And somebody come up and said, we watched here the other night and you were by far the closest to the wall. Yeah. You were on the white line, if not over it. And I'm like, that gives me a buzz. I don't know. I know it's not probably fast. I'll probably lose time by trying to do that. But
yeah, what's been going on with Parliament Square this year?
It creates a bit of excitement, doesn't it? A few stoppies and
backing it in a bit.
Backing it in. It's part of my background. It's normal to me to back in. It doesn't make me faster or slower. It's part of my riding style, I guess. And I think it's just cool for somebody to see a bit of a different style on the roads.
In fact, I've just remembered now, last year it was elbow down at the bungalow, I think.
I stole that.
Yeah, that was you. I think you were the first one, weren't you?
I don't know. I don't know if I was the first, but it certainly got a whole lot of attention anyway. And no, it's just fun. And to give the fans some sort of spectacle, it's always nice when someone comes in practice week. I know it's a serious job and I'm serious about winning, and we were very serious there about my results and how disappointed I've been with not exactly being where I want to be. But in practice week I spent most of it doing wheelies and skids, and
everybody loves a wheelie.
I just was so excited every night when somebody had come up to you in the paddock after and been like, I seen that massive wheelie that you did, it was awesome, it made my night. And I'm like, that's just made my night as well.
Yeah.
So always after the race, I'll do a stoppie into that return lane and
giving something
it
back.
excites me, so it's nice that it
It's like
excites other people as well.
Stoppies and wheelies are a public service,
Yeah.
as from Davey Todd.
Yeah.
Mate, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. I wish you best of luck in the senior. Thanks very much for your time.
Appreciate it, mate.